Is it working? Oh my God. It's a little much. It's a little much. Is it working? Oh, that's a lot much. Yay, it's working, I think. Hello, everyone. Nika here with your Daily Neuro Nugget. We have a lot of catching up to do. I've been going through withdrawals myself. You guys know I like to chat, and we are going to be talking about Miss Dylan Mortensen yet again, okay? Now, reminder, these are my opinions, these are my theories, these are some things, some contradictions that I have found when we have reanalyzed all the information in the PCA along with the new information that has come out regarding Xano. Not everything can be true at the same time. This is looking a lot like either Dylan is contradicting herself or somebody added a little something extra to the PCA, which is concerning in any way you look at it, right? So bear with me. I will go through this information and then I'll say hi to all of you guys in the chat. I had some very triggered people when I was traveling. You guys saw me in Mexico. I was there for work and they were angry. They were like, Nika, I'm going away because you didn't see my super chat. Look, don't take it to heart. You know, if you guys are giving super chats, I highly appreciate it. That being said, I almost always do the information first and then I'll try to see the comments. Okay, so I love all of you guys. Don't get all offended. Now, in the PCA, it is mentioned that everybody is drunk and that no one can function, right? I see the massive super chat there. Thanks for the $10. Thank you so much. They can't function well because they're drunk. By the way, if you're in here, give it a like. Don't be a hater. We are told that Dylan opened her door 1, 2, and 3 times. And quote, after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered a person's mouth and nose walking towards her. DM describes this figure as 5'10" or taller. Not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen shock face. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. Dylan locked herself in her room and went to sleep. Okay. This was 2.5 years ago when this was released. We have a lot more information now, right? We already know that something here is an untruth. By the way, an untruth is basically a soft word for lies because people can't handle the word lie nowadays. How is Dylan Mortensen blackout drunk, but at the same time accurately describing this supposed assailant even to the smallest details like eyebrows? Someone you only saw in passing for like a few seconds. You made eye contact with this masked intruder, right? According to the PCA. And we know that she, according to the PCA, made this eye contact because, I mean, she looked at them straight on and saw their bushy eyebrows. And then they magically didn't see you? And this PCA makes Dylan appear sober, not blackout drunk. It makes her appear sober. How? How does it make her appear sober, Nika? It makes her appear sober because here we have Dylan throughout the PCA giving a very detailed description. But then you were also too blackout drunk to be aware that a horrific crime had just taken place at 1122 King Road. Give me some time to go through all of these contradictions. So then, after you're frozen in shock, after making eye contact with the masked assailant or intruder, you see Xana on the ground. Now we know, 2.5 years later, now we know Xana was on the ground on the hallway floor, and now we know that you saw Xana. And you supposedly believe that Xana is just passed out. But you saw a masked intruder that supposedly made you freeze. But then you just say, fuck it. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Although you also heard screaming. And you also heard a male voice say, I'm here to help. So let's try to make some sense out of this. Okay, so instead you're just gonna go to Bethany's room, right? You're just gonna go to Bethany's room. You're just gonna go on TikTok. You're just gonna go on Yik Yak. You're just gonna go on Instagram, and fuck it, you might as well go on Indeed. How is it possible that you can lock yourself in your room and fall asleep, but at the same time, you're gonna just run downstairs to be with Bethany? Sounds like, is that another contradiction? I don't know. You tell me in the chat. You tell me in the comment. And if you're missing this live, you wanna go watch this from the beginning because you don't wanna miss anything, right? We're supposed to believe that your friend Xana was laying on the floor. Dylan walks past her, and then she says, I'm just gonna wait 8 hours to call 911. Even though she supposedly saw this assailant and her friend on the floor. Is that strange to you? Is that strange to you? I think you know what my answer is, but this isn't about me. This is about you. This is about Dylan. This is about Xana. This is about Ethan. This is about Kaylee. And if she was as inebriated as people are saying that she was, then guess what, babe? Guess what? That means that the statement, then it's not credible. If she was actually passed out or blacked out drunk, again, according to the very detailed description she gave, doesn't sound like it too much. But if she was, then that means that everything as far as description of a man, description of whatever she gave, it's got to be removed. It's got to be thrown out. It is not credible if she was blackout drunk. And again, let me know what your thoughts are, because we're supposed to believe that she clocked the intruder's height, build, and bushy brows, but you couldn't smell the iron. You couldn't smell the copper. You couldn't smell the body fluids that people release naturally when they pass away. You couldn't smell any of this. You couldn't smell your friends being slaughtered in the hallway. Couldn't smell anything. You didn't see any shoe prints. Yeah, that totally makes sense, huh? Totally makes sense. It's almost as if she was given a description to describe at a later date. Now, I have also joked about other things 2.5 years ago when I started this channel. Has it been that long already? I've lost track of time. I don't know. I've joked about this before, but it's almost as if she could have possibly gave a description of herself, right? I mean, Dylan appears to be at least 5'10". Dylan appears to have what most women would call bushy eyebrows. Dylan appears to be not very muscular, and there have been previous rumors of Dylan being born a biological male. Just rumors, just theories. By the way, we also cannot forget that there was a picture of her and her boyfriend going around back in the day. Both of them wearing ski masks, right? By back in the day, I mean soon after the crime was committed. That picture was going around. Do you believe that she was so shocked, so blackout drunk, that she just went to bed after seeing Xana passed out on the floor? If you think that that's a possibility, that she was so shocked that she went to bed, please vote. Please leave a number 1 in the chat or in the comments. And if you think that there is something fishy here with Dylan's statement, please leave a number 2. Now, I'm not saying that Dylan is a liar. I am saying that there are a lot of contradictions, an awful lot of contradictions. Whether Dylan is changing the story as time passes, whether law enforcement was so focused on pinning this on whoever, they could have added their own statements to the PCA. But how can a jury say guilty beyond reason with these ever-changing stories? It's almost as if it's made up, but that's just my opinion. So, let's see. Who is in the chat today, guys? Welcome. Did you guys miss me? I was in a foreign country trying to stay alive, and I managed. Hello, Hoppers. Hoppers looks like he was the first one today. He's usually the first one. Hi, Big Plus Little City. Everyone is here. The whole family is here. Hi, Alessandra. Oh, Alessandra's number 1. I can't keep track. It just shows in a different order maybe on my end. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Dawn. Hello. Hi, Nana Nina. Hello. AKW, thank you again for the $10. I appreciate the super chats. Hello, Mac. DZ. Mr. Hi-Fi Wi-Fi says, wow, not being broadcast from the Army of Hate today? Jazz King, hello. Hi, Robert. AKW says, you would think they would be covered in BLOOD, right? Big Plants Little City says, I'm not sure she could see anything after all the boo she had. And that's something that, again, we don't know. We weren't there until more information comes out. But again, if she did not see anything after supposedly drinking a lot, even from the night before, then that means legally that those statements have to be thrown out. The statements she gave regarding the masked intruder, the bushy brows, the height, the build, everything is trash. So again, not all can be true. We have to pick one side or the other. Angel says so many effing lies, right? Frozen shock face says Skull. That's funny. Yet never mentioned Murky barking for 30 minutes. Right? Hello, Lucy. Can I have an autographed photo of Frozen shock face? Lucy says, oh yeah, and the backslider was open all night according to Hippler's orders, so that means she ignored the door being open. And right, I've talked about this in the past, like, there wasn't a temperature change. You didn't notice the slider. You noticed the brows. You noticed the build. You noticed the height. But you didn't notice any red fluid on Xana. You didn't notice the door being wide effing open. And again, AKW says, thank you for stressing that smell. Yeah. The smell would be the first thing that you pick up. I think, at least in my experience, when I have been to crime scenes, the first thing you pick up is the smell. Sometimes it's not even body fluids, it's the smell. Fireball says, I believe that's why the front door was open and DM went downstairs because of the smell. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good. Hello, Rafael Penguin. Yes, we are still live. Unless she was doing some white substance that numbed her nose. But then again, if she was that out of it, crime time, then we have to toss everything, every statement she gave. But I do find it very strange that we have that picture of Dylan and her boyfriend going around in the early days where they are both wearing ski masks. Is there room for crooked law enforcement in this picture? Yes, of course. But something tells me Dylan is not as dumb as we would like to believe. Raphael says, I have watched enough reality crime shows to know that the cops would have read Dylan her rights before talking to her, and they would have asked her if she was under the influence, right? Crime Time says, Dylan has so much disdain in her face in every picture she's in. She does not like her roomies. I agree, but I have also seen the pictures where she looks like she is sad. And in that picture, it appears to me that she's being bullied by the rest of the girls. That's just my opinion. I've made previous videos of that topic before. Is that possible motive? Let me know what you think. That being said, I will pin that video that I just mentioned in the description if you guys are interested. I'm talking about the images where Dylan looks like she's crying, and it looks like Kaylee and Maddie are doing something to her. That's what it looks like to me, at least. Not to say that being bullied is, oh, you know, it's an okay to go unalive your roommates, but could there be possible motive there? Either way, guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to vote in the chat. Make sure to vote in the comments. Thank you guys all for joining me. I hope to be here in Chicago for a little while before I have to travel for work again. I love and I miss talking to you guys. So we will see you very soon. Again, take care.